In an open field, there's this guy named Percival. He's running around when he sees a rare rocky bird in the sky. He yells for his super strong grandpa to help catch it for dinner. Grandpa, with muscles for days, grabs a pitchfork and effortlessly throws it into the air, nailing the bird. The bird falls off a cliff, but Percival dives down, catches it, and avoids falling to his doom. Back home, Grandpa leaves Percival to prep the bird, and he does it all with one hand. They enjoy a tasty dinner, but in the background, there's some weird purple magic on the bird. Not good. After eating, they spar and surprise, Grandpa wins. Percival's happy he put up a good fight. Grandpa does the dishes, then suddenly remembers it's Percival's birthday tomorrow. He runs back to tell him, but Percival, who's busy taking a leak, isn't too excited about turning 16. Grandpa takes him to a cliff, shows the vast world beyond the island, and talks about adventures. But Percival just wants to stay on the island with Grandpa. Later at dinner, Grandpa mentions Percival's dad went on adventures at 16, but Percival thinks his dad's dead. Grandpa wonders if Percival's lonely, but he's content with Grandpa. That night, Percival can't sleep, thinking about adventures, but he's happy with his current life. Then a knight shows up on a flying boat, talking about a bird getting shot down and looking for Vargas, who turns out to be Percival's grandpa. Percival, not questioning the knight's story, directs him to Grandpa, who's making breakfast. The knight heads there, leaving Percival to play with the flying boat. Percival realizes he might have messed up by telling a stranger where Grandpa is and rushes to help. On the other side of the mountain, Vargas was chopping carrots for breakfast when the knight shows up. The knight points out Vargas using a sword to cut vegetables, and Vargas recognizes the voice. He knows the knight won't waste time talking, so he blocks a strike but gets blasted into his house. They clash swords, but Vargas can't break through the knight's defense. The knight turns Vargas into the new Twitter logo and destroys his house. Percival arrives late, seeing his grandpa in trouble. He yells at the knight to stop, but the knight shoots at him. Percival throws a rock, but it does nothing. He tries a bigger rock, but the knight is about to blast him. Grandpa steps in, tells Percival to run, but Percival won't leave him. The knight cuts Vargas multiple times and blasts Percival, who tries to fight back, but gets knocked down. Vargas asks the knight why he came to kill him. The knight talks about a prophecy of 4 knights bringing down Lord King Arthur. He thought killing Vargas was a good idea for the greater good. Percival apologizes to Grandpa for being weak. Grandpa says Percival shouldn't have to protect him and admits he was happy with Percival wanting to stay on the island. He coughs up blood, telling Percival he doesn't have much time left. Vargas reveals the knight's name is Iron Knight, and he's Percival's father. Percival is shocked since he thought his dad was dead, and why would a dad slice his son into 4 pieces just in case? Grandpa can't explain everything now and tells Percival to find Iron Knight for the full story. Percival has to start a new journey alone. The next day, Percival wakes up, finds his dead grandpa, buries him, and feels empty. He fixes the house and finds a box with new clothes, sewn by Grandpa for Percival's adventures. Some days pass and Percival, having built a tribute to his grandpa, gets ready to start his journey. He puts on a helmet and flips his cape dramatically, only to trip on it. Climbing down an island takes a whole day and he can't see beyond the clouds. Eventually, he sees the ground but gets so excited that he falls and encounters a strange creature. He introduces himself, explains his quest for a place where people like him can live, but the creature doesn't get it and walks away. Percival follows and it starts running. Soon, Percival stumbles upon a street performance group led by Cass. They do impressive tricks and Percival, amazed, wants more. Donnie, trying to profit, asks Percival to pay. Confused about payment, Percival agrees, and Donnie makes him float. While Percival enjoys it, Donnie steals his stuff and runs away, leaving Percival alone in the forest. The others criticize Donnie for leaving a kid like that. Donnie realizes he messed up and is about to apologize, but Percival zooms past him with incredible speed. Donnie, fearing for his life after witnessing Percival's strength, apologizes for his wrongdoing. Percival shares that he's searching for someone named Ironside, his father who killed his grandpa. The group assumes he's on a revenge quest, but Percival is unsure. He just wants answers and for now to beat Ironside up really bad. The group doesn't know Ironside but mentions they're heading to a village where he might find information. Percival is happy to join, but Donnie insists he does a trick. They give him a bow and arrow, and Percival nearly hits Donnie, standing behind him. Still, they take Percival along, as they're heading to the village for their next performance. Percival praises their previous magic-like tricks, but Donnie dislikes doing petty magic for a living. Cats reveals they're former dreamers of becoming holy knights. Percival recalls Ironside and Grandpa were holy knights. The others are surprised he's the son of a holy knight, but ask about Ironside's country. Percival, unfamiliar with countries, can't answer. Villagers approach, seeking help against a wolf, but Donnie underestimates it. They agree to help in exchange for food and a place to stay. However, realizing the wolf is too much, Donnie flees to call the holy knights. Percival jumps out to confront the wolf, determined to protect the villagers. Donnie thinks it's suicide, but Percival wants to save them. He takes a stance, claiming he'll kill and eat the wolf. However, his arrows, with a 100% accuracy stat, fly back and pin his cape to the ground, hitting him in the head. The wolf is about to attack Percival, but Donnie intervenes, getting hurt in the process. Angry, Percival ditches the bow and uses his hands. After blocking the wolf's strike, he jumps and slaps the consciousness out of it, leaving everyone amazed. As they celebrate, a familiar crest on the wolf is revealed, and the creature that met Percival watches, a knight. Surprised by Percival's feat, decides to face him personally. In the village, there's concern about large monsters appearing. Donnie, recovering from wounds, asks about Percival, who's at the lake with Elva. Elva notices Percival's chest scar and wonders how he survived. She praises his maturity despite his age, but Percival is more focused on something rising. Later, Percival reflects on Donnie's kindness while soaking in the lake. Elva mentions Donnie's potential as a holy knight, prompting Percival to ask about holy knights and magic. Elva explains that they oppose evil with magic, similar to the tricks they did earlier but weaker. Back in the village, they celebrate Percival as a hero with berry juice. Percival, thinking he's 16, learns Elva and Donnie are also 16, causing an embarrassed moment with Elva. During the celebration, Percival asks about Ironside, but no one knows. Frustrated, he yells for Ironside to show up, but Elva dismisses it. However, someone recognizes Ironside's name, the Black Knight. He descends from his floating shield, mentioning he came to find the kid who killed his familiar but found Percival, reported dead, alive. He asks if Vargas managed to survive, but unfortunately, Vargas didn't have the levels of plot armor that Percival has and died from his wounds. Katz recognizes the Holy Knight, Pigard, and tries to protect Percival, but Pigard backhands Katz away. Percival questions Pigard about his knowledge of Vargas and Ironside. Pigard, impressed by Percival's courage, explains he knew both his father and grandfather. Percival gives Pigard a countdown to reveal Ironside's location. However, the conversation leads nowhere, so they prepare to fight, and the crowd wisely disperses. Percival charges at Pigard without a weapon, surprising him. Percival lands a kick, impressing Pigard with the boy's potential. Percival proposes that if he wins, Pigard must reveal Ironside's location. If Pigard wins, Percival must train under him. Pigard strikes Percival with his mace, but Percival blocks and counters. Percival unleashes a flurry of attacks, but Pigard palms his head. Pigard commends Percival's courage but advises him to take the fight seriously and use magic if not a weapon. Percival claims he has no magic, surprising Pigard but fueling his desire to train Percival. Pigard punches Percival repeatedly, urging him to admit defeat and agree to training, but Percival refuses to give up. Villagers watch helplessly until one boy shouts for Percival to keep fighting, motivating him to unlock his magic power. Pigard feels tricked, as Percival previously claimed no magic. And that's it from this video. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I've recapped 2 episodes from 4 Nights of the Apocalypse. And if you want to watch more recaps from this series, comment part 2. After 5 comments, I'll deliver the second part. Till then, bye-bye.